Hello, AP Psych kids. We are. All right. This is going to be a quick intro video over the class. You can sit and watch this by yourself. You can watch it with your parents, or your parents have an idea of what's going on. I'm going to try and roll through the syllabus real quickly so that you kind of know what's going on. The syllabus is already on the Google Classroom. I will have some physical copies at school available if you have yet to or can't get online, and we'll see if we can fix that. But this is a digital copy of it. Again, it's already on the Google Classroom page. But top AP Psychology, make sure it says 2018, 2019. Sometimes I'll link the wrong one. But a couple things to note here at the top is the Google Classroom link. If you want to just link the page, it's right here, or create a hyperlink or something like that. It's here. The Google Classroom code to get onto it is right here. And I will do a remind. Here I'll start using it periodically. It is River AP 18. Okay. So again, remind is a good way for me to contact you and do things like that. Course description. The idea is to get you ready for the AP Psych exam. I'm not sure what that. Oh, it was about. This course, as I've said in class, and also as I said in the open house, is that this is a flipped classroom concept. The majority of the lecture is going to happen just like this. I'm going to have some slides or some PowerPoints or some points of information, and I'm going to kind of roll through those and talk about them. Some days I'll have a watch guide in order for you to fill out or to take notes on or something like that as you watch and listen. So it is required, again, that you have access to the internet to take this class. Again, Google Classroom is going to be used a whole lot, as is Google Drive and the Google Forms and things like that. The textbook, which we're probably not going to use a whole lot of, is called Psychology, Themes and Variations. Briefer version is by Wayne Wheaton. That is a college, just what Morehead State University used for a while. That is the book that we use. I do have enough copies, thankfully. Some other required materials. I'll assign some readings periodically. You'll definitely need a notebook for notes because you will be keeping quite a bit of notes. Loose paper for short assignments. Of course, writing utensils, highlighters, and at least probably around 1,000 index cards. Those little 3x5 index cards. In order to take notes, in order to make flashcards. When we get to the unit on memory and when we get to the unit on learning, you'll see how important these things are. Smartphone apps that are useful, again, Google Classroom, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Drive. I don't think there's a Google Forms app. If there is, I'll go ahead and add it on here. But I don't believe there's an app because I haven't been able to find it. But you'll need to use that, of course. Remind, make sure you have it. I'll send reminders out. Quizlet, I don't know if there's an app for that or not, but I use that a lot. It's where most of our terms are. Barron's AP Psychology flashcards. It's another flashcard site, another term site. So make sure you can, and then really any other test prep app that tickles your fancy. There's a lot of them out there geared towards the AP Psych exam. Some are better than others. Just know, I put these on here for your own benefit. I don't own any stock, or they don't give me a kickback for recommending these. These are just things that I have seen help students. There are some suggested readings that I have. We might talk some about these, but these just kind of give it a basic idea of some of the things we're going to talk about. The first one is called The Question of God. C.S. Lewis and Sigmund Freud debate God, love, sex, and the meaning of life. Author is Armand Nicolai. He's a Harvard psychology professor. And then a book called Drive by Daniel Pink. And then actually I'm going to add another one called 40 Studies That Changed Psychology. And I actually have a copy of it. Somewhere. I'll have to find it. I do have a copy of that. I also got a digital copy of that. Class policies, procedures. I reserve the right to modify the following syllabus as I deem necessary. General expectations, just be in class. You can't learn and you can't go through the things if you're not in class. If you have a tendency to miss a lot, this may not be the best class for you. Most of the major new stuff being taught to you by the video, then we're going to take that stuff and apply it in class. And if you don't have background knowledge, or if you don't, and that's a good thing about having the stuff online is that you can get most of the new knowledge, but the problem comes if you don't take that knowledge, if you're not here to do something with it. And that's where I think a lot of the learning happens. So again, try and be on time, or be here and be on time. We'll talk about a lot of controversial ideas. The thing about psychology, there's 7 or 8 different approaches. The reason why there are 7 or 8 different approaches is because a lot of these people think there are 7 or 8 different reasons why people do what they do. So we're going to deal with a lot of other people's opinions. The idea is just be respectful for that. No cheating or plagiarism. I want to make sure I do highlight this. There are no excuses, and I have a 0 tolerance for policy for these offenses. All right, just don't do it. I'm just not going to deal with it. You'll be out of the class. You all will be responsible for the reading and studying the text. Any major, if we don't, at some point I'll pass the textbook out. But even if I don't, you'll still have some readings that you'll have to do. Again, you're responsible for those, just like you're also responsible for watching the videos, just like you're doing now. The rest of this you can kind of look through. We will at times watch different documentaries, movies, or video clips. And there's a list of some here. This is not an exhaustive list, but these are some of the things that we may watch. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Sybil, Super Size Me, Inside Out, Frozen, Pay It Forward, Rain Man, American Addict, One of Two Minds, Stress, The Portrait of a Killer, A Beautiful Mind, Hoarding, Buried Alive, My Strange Addiction, Toddlers and Tiaras, Boy in the Striped Pajamas, Schindler's List, Big Bang Theory, Friends, Awaken, The Office, Big Bang Theory, Split, etc., etc., etc. Again, this is not an exhaustive list. I generally won't show the entire movie, but there will be bits and pieces that I'll show that really illustrate well the concepts that we're talking about at whatever that time. At the end of the syllabus, there is a permission form, or actually it's more of an acknowledgement form. And I ask that you and your parents sign and bring in, make sure they see this so that they know what's going to happen. Because we will be talking about some controversial stuff. In the unit on motivation, one of the major motivation in humanity is sex drive. So we're going to have mature conversations on sexuality and how that, motivates and affects behavior. So, we've got to make sure we're mature enough to be able to talk about those in a scientific manner. So, but I want to make sure everybody knows that between that and some of the videos we watch of some of the more, scientific nature, that everybody's okay with that. Every test will have a FRQ, a free response question. That is a question. That is the type of question used by the College Board in psychology. This is kind of just a small thing for me, but those will be done in dark blue or black ink because that is what the College Board only accepts. So I want you all to make sure that you're able to write with that. Electronic devices. I talked a little bit about this in class, but I want to make sure I mention it again. You will find out in the unit on learning that students, including most post-millennials, which is you all, who actually write things down, not type it or take pictures, retain information much better. As such, we will not use electronic devices on a regular basis in class. Now, you'll be using them outside of class quite a bit, but within class, we'll use them periodically, but not a lot. As such, we will not use electronics on a regular basis. We may allow them in certain situations as we move through the year, but that will be the exception, not the rule. In addition, no cellular phones are allowed to be used during class at all. None, zero, zilch, nada. Phones will this says power down during class. Don't care as much about that. Just put them up. You know, if somebody's blowing your phone up, make sure it's on silent. Because as we're doing stuff, I want you to be focused on here and not what's going on out here. All right. Again, this is an AP course, so it's college level, and you need to be ready for college level work. And the goal of this is to get you ready for the AP exam, which this year is on Thursday, May 9th. So I have a countdown. As soon as class starts on Monday, I'm going to have a countdown with classes until the AP exam, classroom days. So actually I may have a calendar days and then may have classroom days, just because we go quick. This next section is that you all have seen that for a long time. The course plan, I do have the course unit begin dates and test date. The only exception may be this unit right here. This says 4 to 6, and truth be told, I don't think that's the case. I may have made a mistake. Checking on that right now. And yeah, research methods is actually 8 to 10. I don't know why that says 4 to 6. I'm going to change that now. But this first unit that you're starting tonight, today, is 2 to 4%. And the test is going to be Thursday. It's only 4 class days. Today, including on this Friday, was the first class day. So that test is going to be on Tuesday. I'm sorry, no, the 15th, which is Thursday, I think. Wednesday, whatever. Test is going to be on the 15th. We'll start the next unit on the 16th. So this is going to be 16 class days. Through here, I talked a little bit about this during class today, but this is your schedule. What is bolded are the days of the tests. All right? So you can write these in a calendar. These will be the test dates. Until we get to April 29th. Starting April 29th, we will do reviews. And here's the review schedule. Units 1 and 2 will be the 29th. Unit 3 will be the 30th. 4 and 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9 and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then Unit 15. Test date will be here. What I also may do on the 4th or 5th in this area, this is a weekend. What I might do is do a Saturday session as well. So we'll get to then, and I may do a Saturday session here as too. So we'll wait to see how things are moving during that time. Again, because the flipped classroom model will not adjust test dates for snow days, The only exception might be if we actually have a snow day on one of these dates. In which case, what I might do is go ahead and just put the test on as a Google form, and you'll do it like that. I'll give it a time limit, and we'll move on from there. Truth be told, it will probably be difficult. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, to tell you the truth, but if we do have a snow day on one of these test days, then we'll probably have the test the first day back. But that will also mean on those snow days, we'll probably go ahead and start the next unit before we have the test. So just be aware of that. Here's a student and parent acknowledgement that you've read it. And then down here, if you do have an issue with some of the videos that I'm going to show, write that down here. I do ask that you print this off and turn it in somehow. I will have some hard copies if we need it. But anyways, there's the intro to the course. If you got any questions, let me know. And my contact information is here. This is a school phone number, and here's my email address. And of course, you can contact me. I think you can message me through the Remind, and maybe even on here. So it's going to be a great year. Kids last year really enjoyed it, and I think you all will too. So anyways, I'll see y'all later. Peace out.